You're going to be taking the kids to Twins games at beautiful, sunny Target Field. You're going to be taking them to, a Vikings game at the new stadium, and then then Mugsy gets vomited on by some drunk dude, and then we never go back.
And whose team is this? Is this your team, or is this your daddy's team?
Thanks for listening to Dad Mode Podcast. Common sense parenting in a politically correct world. Here's your host, Andy Carlson.
Welcome back to the Dad Mode Podcast, the show about parenting while Nick looks for Facebook pictures of women in bikinis. A common sense parenting in a politically correct world. I'm your host, Andy Carlson, at Andy Carlson Show on the Twitter machine. I'm father. I have no idea what I'm doing, but neither there. Squirt. Let's try and learn something together today. The website, as always, dadmodepod.com. Twitter, at dadmodepod, or just use the hashtag dadmode. I will get all up in that. The aforementioned Uncle Nick is with me again today. He's on Twitter, at Nickason. Hey, how's it going?
Doing good, Andy. And for the record, I was not on Facebook.
Who was it? Who was the
No.
bikini chick?
Nothing. No. New topic. Start the show.
Was it someone? Is it a mutual friend?
Yes.
Oh. I think I know what you're talking about. But the topic today, topic du jour, with football season coming up, little sports fandom. Little sports fandom about parents, how they're going to teach their kids, about rooting for pro football team, college sports, baseball, NBA, all that other good stuff. Or, Olympic teams. How do parents help their kids choose which Olympic team to root for? I don't know. Sounds like a way to weed out the terrorists. IMO.
I'm assuming you're going to root for the home team, the American team, if you go in Olympics.
Well, the next Olympics is in Rio, so it's not like the home team is Brazil. But we're still going to root for USA.
Well, the home
USA.
team where you're from. I don't know how many international viewers and listeners we get, so.
We're all domestic. I blocked it from being downloaded internationally.
Holy crap, you can do that?
Yeah, but I didn't do it. Just crazy. But, full disclosure, I am a slight fan of the, what's it called, the Minnesota Vikings? Vikings? Minnesota Vikings?
Go Vikings!
I'm a fan. I'm a fan of the Vikings, just like Jason Segel's character from How I Met Your Mother.
I was just thinking about that.
Yeah, I never watched that show, but apparently he's a huge Vikings fan.
Yeah, they do a couple episodes, I think, a season where they tie back to his roots and he usually travels to Minnesota.
That's kind of funny.
Mm-hmm.
And with the daughter around, I already have her in some Vikings onesies, and she's got a little hat that she doesn't quite fit in yet, and Vikings blankets and all that stuff. And I wanted to talk about today about the whole passing on of fandom of certain teams to, and even sports in general, to the next generation. Like, what's too much, what's acceptable, and I don't know. We'll just talk about that, because I assume that Muggs is going to grow up being a Vikings fan, being a Twins fan, Wolves fan, a Wild fan, just starting to slowly get into hockey, and, of course, the Gophers, which is my geographical default college team. I never really rooted for them growing up because they were, really terrible.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Talk about Gophers football, basketball. Weren't they all kind of pretty rough?
Now, Gophers basketball, when they made that Final Four run, that got vacated, except still happened anyways. Was that 96, 97, I want to say?
About that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tubby, Bobby Jackson, Miles Tarver's mustache, Sam Jacobson for 3. Let's go. Sam Jacobson, the pride of Cottage Grove.
Do you think a lot of obviously these are all Minnesota teams. What if you guys move? Will you? Obviously from you, the parents. You're going to keep them with the teams. Let's do a hypothetical. Let's say you guys move down to Texas or move out to Boston or something. You think Mugsy's gonna get picked on if you see her start sporting a Twins hat at a Red Sox game?
No, I don't think so. I think there's enough like homogeny with fandom where you do see some blending, and as long as you're not in Oakland, you can wear your team's colors and be fine. But all right, so let's say we move to LA, and LA doesn't have an NFL team yet, which is fine. So still be loyal Vikings fans, get them on DirecTV and all that good stuff. But depends on what age her and like the other kids get out there. But Wolves, not gonna be seeing many Wolves games. Maybe we'll adopt the Lakers, or which I actually kind of like anyways. Even though they're original Minnesota team and they stole them and yada yada yada, I always like the Lakers. And Clippers are out there too. Maybe take them to a game or two, and maybe they become Clipper fans.
So you're okay with them adopting new teams that might not be your own?
Yeah, like I'm like the type of parent who is pretty easygoing. Like if Mugsy doesn't even care for sports, I mean that's fine too. Or if she does like what a lot of kids will do, and just sit and watch the game with dear old dad and the parents, and they got food, and where it's just more of a family gathering type thing rather than being intensive about the sport. I mean that's cool too as well. But just as long as she's not a Packer fan. That is really it. Like, honestly, she could be a Blackhawk, Badger, or maybe no Badgers either. All right, so she could be a White Sox, Blackhawk, and the Wolves don't really have a rival, so whatever, fan, and I wouldn't really care. Just no Packers, no Badgers, and we're good.
How about Bears in Detroit?
See, I don't even care about them either. So she could be a joint Lions-Bears fan, and I would not care. Just no Packers, no Badgers.
Okay, so I'm assuming, what about her teenage rebellious years? Do you think she'll go, like, screw you, Dad, I'm going to buy this Vikings jersey, or this Packers jersey, just to one-up you?
I don't know. I don't really see that, but who knows what her teenage personality is going to be.
Dun 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 dun.
But like, what was your growing up experience with sports? Watch sports.
My parents didn't care for sports. I got a lot of it from my brother and neighborhood friends. So obviously, tried and true Vikings. All Minnesota Twins. I think those were the two most active ones I watched because mid 90s there was no hockey. Hockey left. Wild didn't come until I think was it early 2000s, 99, 2000, something
like that. Yeah.
So and I didn't jump on that bandwagon quite yet. I said in my previous episode that I played basketball as a kid, but I never got into the Timberwolves at all, even when Kevin Garnett was here. So a lot of it was friendships that I had. They were the ones who kind of got me into like enjoying these sports. And when I was close with my brother's friends who were Wisconsin people, I did tap into that whole Packer thing for a little bit.
Oh my God!
I know. I'm sorry. It was the people who I was around. So, but I'm trying true Vikings all the way. So
Nick, if you pray enough and believe hard enough in yourself, you can rid yourself of Packer fandom.
I just think that I think there's somewhere a picture of me in like a Packers sweatshirt somewhere. I think it was like high school or something, or like freshman year of college when I was really close with my brother's friends, because my brother went to school in Wisconsin, so you just gotta learn from the people around you.
I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed.
Sound like all my ex-girlfriends.
All right. So when I was growing up as a kid, my dad was a big Vikings, Wolves to a degree, and definitely a Twins fan growing up. And same with my grandpa too. So like the whole fandom of like defaultness of what the parents did, it's more of a spending time with them, because like when we would grill out, my dad and I would play catch in the backyard, or We played baseball where he'd be the pitcher and I'd always be the Twins lineup. So I could name every single guy 1 through 9 of like I guess that'd be like mid-90s Twins. And so it'd be like Knobloch, Shane Mack, Kirby Puckett, Kent Herbeck, or sometimes they were flipped, Chili Davis or Pedro Munoz, like Greg Gagne, maybe. Brian Harper would be in the mix. Gary Gaetti, I think he was at third base, and somewhere else. But you get the idea. So like that whole fandom was more tied to, just good memories, spending time with the parents. And my dad and I would go up to a Vikings-Packers game every other year when I was growing up, all the way up to the last one was the year before he passed, and it was the one where stupid Brett Favre broke the career touchdown record at the Metrodome.
Oh, yeah, yep, okay.
Yeah, recent Packer Hall of Fame retired inductee, Brett Favre, former Viking quarterback. It's really nice that they're putting in ex-Vikings in their Hall of Fame. It's awesome. I like that. But by the way, he threw that pass to another ex-Viking, Greg Jennings. The more you know. Yeah. And it's just more like memories like that of just spending quality time with my dad growing up, and those are something that I want to have moments like that with Mugsy, where we're chilling, we're bonding, we're watching the Twins game, or we're listening to it on the radio while we're playing catch in the backyard, and we got some meat on the grill. Because who doesn't like memories like that? Whereas, I guess that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm not a Jaguars fan.
Moral of the story right there.
Yeah, because I feel like it is very common that the kid will mirror the interests of the parents.
What makes it super easier now is that, let's just take a hypothetical that you guys aren't living in Minnesota anymore. You guys can easily, you guys can get the merchandise anywhere. You can get it online. You can, stores sell mass stuff, and and I think with kids, your daughter has a Vikings onesie. They sell Vikings clothing and toys at all ages. So I mean, it's very easy to get these kids hooked onto it, along with the quality time you get with the family,
And where's a great spot to get Vikings gear? Amazon.com. Top left corner of dadmopod.com, baby. Send it.
Nice plug.
Yep. But I do get your point, and it always is the parents, buying stuff for the kids at a young age. And as a kid, and all right, so now I'm bringing back all these memories. I liked different teams more as just to be different and be kind of difficult as a kid. Like my first starter jacket, because everyone had a starter jacket, was the Orlando Magic one.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
The Orlando Magic.
Yeah, and then eventually I got a Charlotte Hornets one, because everyone had a Charlotte Hornets one.
Oh yeah, I remember them.
Yeah, and to a degree, I actually like the Hornets and the Magic. I think it's ingrained in me because of those starter jackets growing up.
I'm trying to remember. God, I think NBA Jam got me into the games and liking other teams.
Yeah.
And that's why I think, because I think it was the '90s one. I think that's when both those teams. Yeah, because both those teams don't exist anymore, right? Or like they evolved.
The Magic are there. The Hornets they moved to New Orleans, and then they became the Pelicans.
That's right.
And then Robert Johnson bought a team as the Charlotte Bobcats, and then eventually sold them to Michael Jordan, and then they eventually became the Hornets next year. Yeah.
The Hornets? Oh, okay.
Yeah, so they're back. Bye.
Ah, this.
Yeah. And the whole randomness is like 1999 when the Browns came back as an expansion team. I got a Tim Couch Browns jersey, right? Stop laughing. Now, that whole subconsciousness where, let's see, how old was I? Probably like 13, 14, somewhere in there. And I'm like a quasi Browns fan. Like if the Vikings really did move to LA like they're threatening to, a couple years ago, I probably would have been a Browns fan. Mostly because of, I think I like the lovable loser underdog role when it comes to NFL teams, but it's also because I had a Browns jersey when I was a kid. And it's weird how like that sort of subconscious, impressionable age stuff can convey to like adult preferences of sports teams.
So it's okay for were your folks Brown fans at all? Your grandfather at all?
No,
I mean
they're just like, oh, why'd you waste your money on that? Why don't you get a nice Robert Smith jersey?
So you won't mind if Mugsy does this and goes off anything except for the Packers, correct?
Pretty much. I mean, if she came home with like a Los Angeles Rams jersey, I'd be like, pretty cool. Where'd you get the money, by the way? You don't have a job.
Crystal! Why's my wallet lighter?
Yeah, she gets that when she's 12, and her stupid cousins have corrupted her. I'm just kidding. Mugsy will have a job at the Chinese restaurant when she's like 8.
The dishes aren't going to pick up themselves.
No, she's going to be the hostess. She's going to be very poor at spacing out and seating, but she'll be very cute.
No, I swear there are kids who work at the place I go and get my clothes hemmed and tailored. I'm pretty confident these are young kids who work there.
Yeah, well, family business can get around child labor laws.
That's so interesting. Wow.
Yep. Now, all right, so your future kids, like how are you going to approach the whole fandom thing?
I want them to know the roots of their father, and and obviously born and raised in Minnesota. I want them to know like, hey, this is our default team that we should always root for wherever I'm living down the road. See, whoever the wife will be, the mother of the children, whether she's from Minnesota or, heaven forbid, maybe Wisconsin, or most likely Mother Russia, wherever I get her. I want them to respect both parents have our different sport favorite teams.
No, children, your favorite soccer team is Moscow FC. Now go get me some cigarettes.
And vodka.
Except, going back to the whole, childhood memory thing, you're going to be taking the kids to Twins games at beautiful, sunny Target Field. You're going to be taking them to, a Vikings game at the new stadium. And then Mugsy gets vomited on by some drunk dude, and then we never go back. You're going to take them to games, go for games at the bank and stuff like that. And those are memories that the kids will have, that we had as kids, or pretty much everyone has with their parents. And then that will ingrain that whole sense of fandom, sense of nostalgia that will project into their adulthood. Like my dad would always tell me stories about when him and my uncle and my grandpa would go to Vikings games at the Met, like old Met Stadium where the Mall of America is now. And they'd be sitting up in like the third deck that would actually like sway in the wind. The guy could still wing up.
What is this? One too many heavy people on that thing. That sucker goes down.
Yeah. And he's telling me about watching Fran Tarkenton and Alan Page, Carl Eller, Jim Marshall, like the great Vikings players. And now that I'm a Vikings fan, I really appreciate that sort of sense of history and continuity. The way that Mugsy, if she's a Vikings fan down the line, will be asking me, is like, hey, Dad, what was John Randall like? Or what was Chris Carter like? And what was Randy Moss like? And what was Brooks friggin' Bollinger like? Was he a great quarterback? No. He wasn't?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Randy Moss, great player. Not a big fan of certain restaurants in the Twin Cities.
How can he not like Tanucci's? Tanucci's is a great place.
I don't think I've ever had there, but it sounds fantastic.
Yeah. That is all. And
wait, can I say something? When you bring your kids to these sporting events, are you gonna put them in the kid friendly section? I know Target Field has the family section, so you might want to introduce. I don't know if Vikings or the Timberwolves. I mean, if they have that like, hey, this is the non-beer serving. You guys should all be sober, so hopefully no one has a foul mouth place, so you can bring your 2 or 3-year-olds there.
Yeah, that is the downside about going to games. That one of the reasons why I actually don't really care for going to football games, especially because number one, it's way better on the TV, and also fantasy football and blah blah blah.
Of course.
But the drunk, terrible fans who curse and drop N-bombs all over the place, ain't nobody got time for that. Which is why I like staying away from NFL games, to a degree, college games, especially now that they're selling beer at TCF. But I feel like baseball games, there's enough. I mean, it is during the day. I get that football games during the day too, and I feel like if the Twins are bad, there's enough seats available where you can kind of space out.
But you can do that. You can do it with the Timberwolves game right now.
I feel like baseball games, especially now that we have that beautiful outdoor stadium, are like a summerhood rite of passage where you get your peanuts, you got your Cracker Jacks, and then you're just outside in good weather and having a hot dog and hanging out with Dad at a baseball game. Whereas a football game, it's week 17. The Vikings are 3-point favorites, and we're fighting for a playoff spot. And Dad's got a C note on the game, and we're all freezing and cold at TCF Bank Stadium, wrapped up in a blanket. And Dad's got a flask because he's worried about his little bet. And then some drunk guy just vomited SoCo all over me, and I was like, oh. This is an awesome memory. Thanks, Dad. Awesome. And then we get blown out by the Dolphins or somebody. Woohoo.
Yes, I can see the Dolphins totally kicking our ass week 17 in freezing weather up in Minnesota. Not really.
Yeah. So I think there is a bit of a separation when it comes to that. Like baseball, as much as I rag on baseball for being slow, unable to adapt with current demographics and technology and things like that, there will always be something awesome about going to a day game, good weather with your kids, and that'll always have a role.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
How old are you going to start them taking them to games? Well, I mean, if when you do, would you take an infant to the? I mean,
what age can they get in for free? It's up to a certain height, I think. Or is it weight? Or is it age? One of the two. Nah, just kidding. I'd say probably like 3, 4, 5. Crystal's hasn't been to the new stadium yet either, so we have to check that box.
Oh yeah, good.
Yep. And I don't know. Maybe I'll take her to a hockey game when she gets older. A basketball game, I feel like that could be at a younger age as well. But I feel like hockey and football have to be a little bit older to more appreciate the ambiance and, well, the ticket costs, frankly.
Of course. Yeah, of course.
Because, I mean, the new stadium ain't going to be cheap for seats, and the X is only 20,000 seats, so those seats are always at a premium, especially when the team's good.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, I think my brother still has to take my nieces to a Twins game, but it's on his to-do list. It's on his bucket list to take them. But you want them to be old enough to, retain the memories of it,
Yeah, see, I think baseball's good, especially if the Twins aren't good, except they are really good this year. I'm pretty excited about that. But like last year and the year before that, you get $4 tickets for the upper deck on StubHub, like in late July. It's like, oh, yeah, okay, sold. We're gonna spend $20 on parking, but whatever.
Yeah,
unless you have the secret parking lot like Uncle Nick does. Now, where is it?
I learned this from my friend Melanie. There's a lower level right next to the Deja Vu, actually. And during games, it's about $15, but you're literally right there. It's better than you don't have to deal. The secret is that you don't have to deal with the traffic that the main ramps, the A, B, and C that Target Field use to get out, because those are always just a gridlock. This lower ramp has an easy exit to Washington Avenue and can get out there safely and quickly.
So you heard it here. Blow up Nick's secret parking spot.
No.
Yeah.
Why?
But, you want to put your kids in some Twins gear, some Vikings gear, some Wolves gear, some Wild gear, Minnesota United, some Gophers. Why not? You can get all that stuff at Amazon. Nick, what's the next thing that you're going to buy at Amazon besides a car visor?
It's like always, I say it one or two times and you always bring that up.
Well, you haven't bought it yet, have you?
I haven't bought it. No, I have not bought it. Shut up. Nick's on a budget. I want to buy some recording equipment. I do a YouTube channel for playing guitar. I wanted to maybe look in buying a pickup for my guitar so I can hook it up directly because I have an acoustic electric. Maybe it could sound a little bit better. So I'll do some research on that. There's a lot of great deals on Amazon right now for that. So
now I'm gonna put you on the spot. You should pick up the guitar and play something real quick.
Play something like an actual song right now?
Yes.
Oh, hang on.
Play Steve Winwood.
I don't know.
Valerie, if you're lonely.
Do you actually have a request of an actual song or something, or what?
The theme song from Porky's.
I do not know that.
I don't even know what that is.
I don't even know that one. Let's see.
Summer of '69.
Summer of '69, the one I was just learning.
Yeah, by Ryan Adams.
It's Brian
Whatever.
Adams. Oh wait, no, I want to do a different one actually. Let's do Smooth since I can't get that song out of my head. Rob Thomas. Okay. How far do you want me to go? Just do a quick verse.
Just go.
Chorus?
Yeah.
How's it sound so far?
Sounds good. Man, there's a high wall 7 inches from the midday sound. I don't know why Rob Thomas sounds like Eddie Vedder, but he does. And it's just like the ocean under the moon. It's the same as Amazon.com through dadmodepod.com and get all your stuff and let us have a taste and help us pay the bills. Close enough. All right, keep playing. Play us out, Uncle Nick. The show is available on iTunes, on the YouTube, on the Stitcher, and follow us on Twitter at DadModePod or me personally at Andy Carlson Show, or Uncle Nick, if you're so inclined, NSFW 18+, at Nick Son. Website is dadmodepod.com. But we're out of here. See you on the next show. Be a man, be a father, go dad mode. We'll see you next time. Peace.
Think the episode you just heard is worth $1? Well, send it our way. Visit dadmodepod.com/support to find out how. Be a man, be a father. Go dad mode. The music is created and produced by deeB. To hear more of his tracks, visit soundcloud.com/deeB.